Become an expert in anything. On the outskirts of a small town lived a young man named Armin, who dreamed of becoming great at something, anything. But like many people, he didn't know where to begin. He had tried painting, then guitar, then writing, yet every time he failed, he gave up halfway. One morning, Armin was sitting near the riverbank, throwing stones into the water. He sighed deeply and whispered, "Maybe I'm just not meant to be good at anything." Just then, an old man named Master Ian, known for his wisdom, passed by. Seeing Armin's gloomy face, he asked, "Why such a long face, young man?" Armin replied, "I've tried so many things, but I can't seem to master any of them. I lose interest, or I fail, or someone else is always better than me." Master Ian smiled gently. "Do you know how bamboo grows?" Armin frowned. "Bamboo?" "Yes," said the old man. "For the first 5 years, it hardly grows above the ground. You water it, take care of it, but it seems like nothing is happening. Then suddenly, in the 6th year, it shoots up over 80 feet in just a few weeks. You see, all that time, the roots were growing deep, strong enough to support its height." The old man continued, "Becoming an expert is like growing bamboo. You don't see results at first, but if you stay consistent, your roots of skill, patience, and knowledge grow deep. Then, success comes all at once." Armin was silent for a while. Then he asked, "But how do I know what I'm meant to be an expert in?" Master Ian smiled again. "You don't need to know at first. Start with something you like, not something you think you should like. Follow your curiosity. The path will reveal itself." That evening, Armin went home and thought deeply. He had always enjoyed fixing small things, clocks, radios, fans. It made him feel calm. So, he decided to become an expert in repairing machines. The next day, he went to a nearby workshop and asked the mechanic if he could work there for free, just to learn. The mechanic laughed. "For free? Sure, if you're serious." And Armin was serious. For the first few weeks, he mostly cleaned tools and watched the mechanic work. He asked questions, observed how every part fit together, and slowly began repairing small things. At night, while his friends went out or watched movies, Armin read books about mechanics and watched tutorials. He started keeping a small notebook filled with notes, sketches, and lessons from his mistakes. There were days when nothing worked, machines broke again, customers shouted, and the mechanic scolded him. Armin felt like quitting, but he remembered Master Ian's words, "Grow your roots." So he stayed. After 1 year, Armin could repair fans, mixers, and washing machines. After 2 years, he could fix complex engines. By the 3rd year, the mechanic trusted him enough to handle customers alone. But Armin didn't stop there. He saved money and enrolled in a technical course in the city. It was difficult. The classes were in English, and he struggled to understand at first. But he recorded lectures, translated words, and studied late into the night. One evening, during his final exam, he built a motor circuit that impressed even the instructors. "You have real skill," they told him. Years passed. Armin opened his own repair and electronics workshop called Armin Tech Solutions. His business grew because he was honest, skillful, and humble. Soon, people came from nearby towns to get their machines fixed by him. One day, a young boy came to his shop and said, "Sir, I want to learn from you, but I have no money." Armin smiled, remembering his own past. "You don't need money. You just need patience." He took the boy under his wing, teaching him not just how to fix machines, but how to think, observe, and never give up. A few months later, Armin met Master Ian again near the same riverbank. The old man was frail, but his eyes were still sharp. "Ah, Armin," he said with a smile. "I see the bamboo has finally grown tall." Armin laughed. "Yes, master, but it took a long time." The old man nodded. "Everything great does. Remember this, talent is a seed, but consistency is the water that makes it grow." They both sat silently, watching the sunset. Armin realized something profound. Expertise wasn't a single goal. It was a journey, a daily effort to improve, learn, and share. It wasn't about being the best in the world, but being better than you were yesterday. As years went by, Armin's name became well known in the region. He began teaching free weekend classes for students who couldn't afford education. Many of his students went on to start their own small workshops. One day, during a public event, Armin was invited to give a speech titled, "How to Become an Expert in Anything." He stood before a crowd of young faces and began, "When I was your age, I thought experts were born, that they had some secret talent. I didn't, but I learned something simple. Experts aren't born. They're made, through practice, patience, and passion. You see, the first step is to choose something that truly interests you. The second is to learn every day, even when you don't feel like it. And the third is never to quit, even when you fail. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the path to it. Every time you fail, you learn what not to do. Every mistake brings you closer to mastery. So, if you water your roots with effort and time, you'll grow tall like bamboo. And one day, you'll look back and realize you've become an expert." The crowd erupted in applause. Later that night, as Armin closed his workshop,